Alright, y'all, welcome back to Common Arms channel. Now, today's reaction video, I'm going to be doing another country. So we've been doing the United Kingdom and Finland a lot, and I'm going to continue to do those kinds of videos as y'all recommend them. But I'm gonna try and branch off every now and again, just to sort of bring more people into the fold, and just get a little more experience with other countries and see how they do certain things. It's also cool to see what all these new people think about what I think. But today it's going to be Sweden, and specifically the Swedish Marines, or their Amphibious Corps. I think they call it their Amphibikåren. I might be butchering that, but that's what I found out when I Googled it. So this is sort of like a little montage video. And yeah, I mean, if I'm going to be looking at another military, and I was a U.S. Marine, I think it's good to sort of check out how their Marines are. I know it can vary very greatly. I mean, the Royal Marines are a little more hardcore than the U.S. Marines, and I'm sure there's Marines that are not as hardcore as the U.S. Marines. So, yeah, I guess we'll see how it is. We'll see how the Swedes do it. I don't know a whole lot about Sweden. I know pretty much all my stuff about Sweden from PewDiePie, which I mean, it's embarrassing to say, I guess, but I know they have a king, and I think his name is Carl Gustaf. But I think that's a pretty common name for their king. It's a cool name to have, though, because that's a pretty awesome weapon system too. But yeah, we'll get right into it, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video.
I'm losing myself tonight. Losing myself, I'm losing myself tonight. With your love.
Okay, so already this is looking very familiar to stuff that I've done. Now, doing amphibious landings with helicopters, that's pretty badass, not gonna lie. We haven't even done a whole lot of that. Normally when you do helicopter stuff, it's like a helicopter insert, or you're fast roping, or what have you. You normally don't combine them together unless it's like a big show of force thing. But yeah, really cool looking so far. I like them getting on the helicopter on a ship. That's a very Marine thing to do. I have some footage myself of me doing that. But yeah, that stuff's a blast. So I'm getting excited just because it's reminding me a lot of what I've done in the U.S. Marine Corps.
With your love, I'm losing myself, I'm losing myself tonight. Losing myself, I'm losing myself tonight. With your love, I'm losing myself.
Okay, so there's a lot going on. Again, you have the helicopters in the background. I saw they had it looked like an LPD, which is a ship that I was on for a bit. Awesome ship, by the way. Very modern, very cool. So it looked like they had that going on. Now they have these weird, like I don't know what you call them, like these rigid like crafts, I guess. But I'm not sure if they actually have crafts that take them on the beach, because in the Marine Corps we have the amphibious assault vehicle, which is kind of a piece of crap, but it does its job. But that basically drives up on the beach, and then from there it would face the hatch away from where the actual combatives would be, and you'd get out there and post security. So them sort of stopping in the water and then hitting the water, it's very it reminds me of D-Day, I guess. But yeah, we don't have any vessels like that that we really use too often. So that looks pretty cool. Their equipment looks very interesting because they're not wearing like helmets and plate carriers. It looks like they look like I don't know like some what you'd see in the movies if you look for like Green Beret or like Special Forces. So I'm not sure if their Marine Corps or their Amphibious Corps has like subdivisions, of dudes who are like more high speed than some other dudes, but these dudes look pretty high speed. I like their kit. I like their weapons. They have like nice peltors and whatnot. So yeah, really cool. It was a little interesting that they're all just walking up on the beach like that shooting. So I'm not sure what the training scenario is, but it looks pretty badass so far.
I'm losing myself tonight. Losing myself, I'm losing myself tonight. With your love, with your love, I'm losing myself. With your love, with your love, I'm losing myself, losing myself, I'm losing myself tonight. Losing myself, I'm losing myself tonight. With your love.
Okay, so they got the mortars in play right now, so we're starting to bring in more weapon systems. I saw the Carl Gustav. It's a badass weapon system, way better than the AT4 that we used to use in the Marine Corps. But it must be pretty badass to have a weapon system named after your king, or at least your king having the same name as a weapon system, because it's probably named after another Carl Gustav. But either way, they look badass. They have their berets, they have their ear pro over it. It kind of made me a little bit nervous when they were shooting past each other, but I mean, they look badass, and that's sort of half the battle when you're talking about these kinds of things. But now we're doing more combined arms thing. You can see they got the mortars, they got the Carl Gustav, they had a sniper that was actually in placing. So this is pretty cool. I'm not sure if this was all part of one exercise. If it was, it must have been a hell of an exercise, because that looks super fun. But yeah, I like the way these dudes look, and I like their equipment. Everything looks pretty cool so far.
I'm losing myself. With your love, with your love, I'm losing myself.
Okay, so that dude shooting his machine gun, I'm not sure what it was. It kind of looked like a 249. But that dude's barrel is destroyed, or at least it's very, very hot. Because once you start doing like a whole cyclic rate of fire and expend your whole belts, that's it. You got to do a barrel change, because that thing's smoking. It's not going to be very reliable if you continue to use that barrel for much longer. But he looked badass doing it. I got to say that. But yeah, I'm not sure. They like sort of landed these helicopters in an open field, so it's probably like a really big scenario that they're actually doing training on. But you can see they also had their amphibious vehicles that actually went on the shore, so that's pretty cool. It looked a little bit similar to ours, but it definitely wasn't the same. I mean, it's probably better than ours, because again, our amphibious assault vehicles we had in the Marines are they're very old. They like to set on fire. They like to sink sometimes. It's not a fun time. And when you're inside, it's kind of just like you're being gassed up the whole time. It stinks in there. But yeah, hopefully it's not the same case for them. But they look badass getting out of it, running on the beach. Running through sand is really rough, especially when you have a bunch of gear on. So I'm sure they were pretty smoked after that little sprint they did there. But these dudes right here look really sick. It looks like he's got like a G36 or something. I'm not sure. It looks a little bit weird. I know they had like SIG 5.52s and whatnots, but these dudes look pretty badass. So I'm curious to see if this is like another little subsection of their amphibious corps.
Scares me anymore. If we never see tomorrow, babe. If
Okay, so those guys look dope. I don't know who they were. I don't know if they're actually Marines as well, but if they are, that's sick because they had a lot of cool equipment. You can see he had the Barretts. They had a nice 50 cal setup. They sort of look like our Coast Guard MSRT, or maybe Navy SWIC, or maybe even Marine Recon. So it looked like a bunch of different elements that you'd find in the U.S. military, but not particularly something that the U.S. Marine Corps would do. I mean, I would say Marine Recon would probably be the closest to that, but yeah, even still, it's a little bit far. But yeah, those dudes look sick. This whole video was like, it definitely hypes you up. These montage videos do a good job of doing that. They sort of showcase, the coolest parts of everything. But I don't think all the clips that I've recorded in the U.S. Marine Corps could look as badass as that montage did. I would need a lot of cool looking friends and a lot of cool equipments, stuff that you wouldn't actually get issued in the Marine Corps. But if y'all can recommend any other videos from Sweden or maybe any other Scandinavian brothers, I've looked into Finland, so Norway and Denmark are definitely next on the list. So if you have any other cool videos, maybe some joint exercises with them and the U.S. Marines, yeah, definitely send them my way because that was pretty sick. And again, if you were in the Swedish Armed Forces, let me know more about it because I really want to learn as much as I can about these armed forces because that was very cool. I didn't know that they were that high speed. I'm always like humbled to see how high speed some of the allied countries look compared to like normal U.S. Marine infantry. I mean, I've done a little bit more like higher speed stuff than U.S. infantry, but even at the same time, like it's very rare that you get a bunch of cool equipment and nice weapons and whatnot in one whole package unless you go like special forces. But another awesome video. I found this one myself. I know you guys are a lot better at finding cool videos than I am, so please keep sending those videos my way. But I hope you guys enjoyed it because I definitely did. It was very, very cool. But that's it for this video, so I will see y'all in the next one.